In Invincible, after Eve cheats on Mark and things are pretty tense in the house, Eve questions Mark on if he's really upset about it still, and Mark replies, of course he is, but he can be upset about her being with someone else and still see that she did nothing wrong and should apologize for it. That's because, like many of you have said, Mark was missing for 5 years at this point, and it's not like Adam Eve is a real one like Bulma or Chichi, so what should we expect? After Mark says he feels bad but Eve doesn't have to, Eve responds that she feels terrible. But again, Mark doubles down, telling her that he doesn't want her to feel bad about what she did, and honestly, that's not even what was on his mind. He was thinking about how no one from Earth has contacted him since he's been back, and we'll explain exactly what they're going through in a bit. However, from this point, Mark and Eve head straight to the hospital to visit Alan after he gets betrayed by the Coalition, and here is where things start to get really interesting. You see, Mark, Oliver, and Eve try to figure out how this could have happened to Alan, and they all agree that Elia wasn't working for Thrag because her main goal was to replace Alan and take Thrag down. Mark questions Alan on the possibility that Thrag has someone else working inside of the Coalition, and while Alan says this isn't likely, Oliver makes a strange face in the background because he's hiding a secret that no one in this room knows about right now. Luckily for him, suddenly Alan's girlfriend Telia enters the room, but when she does, she actually shows up with Kubian, the man Adam Eve slept with when Mark was away, and this is awkward. First off, it was Telia that set up Eve and Kubian in the first place, but as she awkwardly says, sorry, I didn't know you guys were here, Kubian says, oh, hi Eve, casually, causing her to say, we're leaving in an upset tone, allowing Mark to realize just what is going on here. Eve looks pissed, but as they're leaving, Kubian actually leaves the room too, telling Eve he'll leave if she wants to spend more time with Alan, but he wants the two of them to talk first. And the nerve of this guy trying to talk to Eve while Mark is literally standing there. But it gets even worse. At first, Kubian tries to get Mark to go away despite Mark actually trying to be nice and introduce himself, saying, I know who you are. Kubian wants to talk to Eve privately, but when she says no, he says, you know what? Fine, let's do this here. It's at this moment where Kubian basically spills his feelings for Eve out, saying she deserves to be happy, and he's sad she's going to let her little family obligations weigh her down. On top of that, Kubian says that Mark could never make her feel the way he did. He doesn't have the right biology to please Eve. And at that moment, Eve hits Kubian as hard as she can, sending him across the room, but this isn't over.